Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk live on YouTube and StreamYard.com. It is Google MF Michael Fletcher alongside Anthony Floyo and Michael Bullock. Tonight we are going to be recapping SmackDown Live, and we're going to be previewing the Payback pay-per-view, or the premium live event, as they would say. That's going down tomorrow night. And then, like we said, tomorrow night we'll be back here. Also, maybe around the same time, maybe 11 o'clock. We don't know. But whatever the case may be, we will be recapping. We got AEW Collision. We got the preview of All Out. And if necessary, we could be having the recap of Payback. So we'll let you guys know what we're going to do. It's basically we're gonna be on standby for that. So with that said, let's start it off with SmackDown Live from Hershey, Pennsylvania, in the Giant Center, and we started it off with the 16-time world champion making his return to SmackDown Live. It's John Cena. John Cena in the building. Obviously, big pop. People goes nuts. Of course, I don't even need to say I'm done. I'm not believing this because this was highly anticipated. We knew he was going to show up. So they just brought him out right at the jump. Awesome moment. Then we had a little bit of a surprise. Jimmy Uso came out, and Cena and Uso kind of got into it. And, well, it ended with Jimmy Uso biting an AA out of it. So, yeah, this is really good. This is really good to see. Solid opener for the show. Cena there wasn't anything special. This was Cena being Cena, cutting a promo. Nothing too, out of nowhere there. So it wasn't like anything out of right field. He just handled his business, does what he needs to do. Jimmy Uso was pretty good. Nice little exchange between the two. And then a nice little ender with Cena dropping the AA on Jimmy Uso. So for me, I thought it was pretty good. It's a good segment to start the show. Anthony Floyo, it's good. It's all yours. As always, Jimmy Uso was pretty good, but we know who was the star of this one. John Cena.
Indeed it was. And but I gotta tell it like it is here. Cena may have held back here to let Jimmy stand out, but it was very clear that the heel won this battle. He was presented like a top act next to the GOAT and hardly looked out of place. If Jimmy can defeat Cena one-on-one in a match after this, he will be quickly solidified in his own way as a singles star. It is also a great sign that the crowd was fully behind Jey Uso without him being in the arena. The bloodline angle is finally truly producing stars, making both Usos into singles acts with high upside. Cena promised to give thanks to the fans every time he appeared. Jimmy came out to a new theme. Production make it extra confusing by taking 10 seconds to show who was coming out. The crowd chanted, "We want Jey," after Jimmy came out. Jimmy called Cena and Roman Reigns the same, and angry Cena responded by saying, "The wrong Uso quit." And then Jimmy stormed around backstage, including disrespecting Michin. AJ Styles stood up for Mia Yim until Solo Sikoa wiped out the Phenomenal One. And Solo told Jimmy he was still a part of the bloodline, but Jimmy walked out with defiance. So very good segment here, no doubt about it. So now, and let's not forget the big announcement that came out here tonight. John Cena is going to be at Payback tomorrow night. He's going to be hosting the thing. He's going to be the host of Payback tomorrow night. So, what could that possibly mean? It's a lot to think about, but definitely made that event a lot more interesting. I'll say that for sure. So there isn't much more to say on this. Phenom, Michael Bullock, come on in, fresh off another one of our legendary SmackDown chats as always. And we couldn't think of a better way to start this show tonight than with John Cena. But what a moment for Jimmy Uso standing toe-to-toe with the champ.
Yeah, I mean, it was a moment for him standing toe-to-toe with the champ, but yeah, I think he found out the hard way. You better not poke the champ because let's just say he did that, and basically he got his attitude adjusted with a little attitude adjustment. So yeah, Jimmy Uso found out the hard way that you don't mess with John Cena, and unfortunately he paid for it. So yeah, good to see Cena back, and this is not the last you're going to see of him. Not just of course with tomorrow night him hosting Payback, but we're going to be seeing a whole lot more of John Cena on Friday Night Smackdown. So yeah, so Fletch, I mean, it's going to be big for your show that you're going to be seeing a whole lot more of Cena in the next couple of months. So what do they plan on doing with Cena? I mean, I heard some dirt sheets, and one of them, and Florio and I talked about this during our chat, maybe have Cena going up against the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes at Survivor Series.
I heard that rumor too. I don't know. We'll see. That would be pretty. Yeah. That would be pretty interesting if they do it.
Yeah, and another thing, and I heard, of course, when it comes to their event in India, as a matter of fact, I sent it to you guys on Messenger, and it's going to be a tag team match at that Superstar Spectacle where John Cena is going to be teaming up with, of all the people, it's Seth freaking Rollins.
Whoa.
And he's going to be going up, and the two of them are going to be going up against Imperium's Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci. So that is an interesting tag team. I mean, because remember, guys, 2015, they had the two of the John Cena and Seth Rollins went at it when it was basically title for title, and of course, leading up to that, who was the one that broke the nose of John Cena? It was Seth Rollins.
Yep.
So this is going to be very interesting to see. I mean, with the two of them teaming up after all the great battles they had. So yeah, you're going to be seeing a whole lot of John Cena these next couple of months. So good segment to start it off. So Fletch, let's move on.
All right, and we do got the first match of the night. It was a tag team fight, as it was Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. They went up against Santos Escobar and the United States Heavyweight Champion Rey Mysterio. Winners of the bout in 8 minutes and 20 seconds was Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. Waller hitting the running stunner finish on Santos Escobar for the 3. Anthony Florio, it's yours.
What was that time again? Quick.
8:20.
2.5, 2 3/4 for this. This was a good match that sold the potential of Mysterio versus Theory as a more complete match at Payback. The former United States champion picks up a win ahead of his rematch against the master of the 619. But more importantly, Waller picked up a decisive pinfall. WWE has shown signs of getting behind the Aussie icon, but he still has not won big matches on the main roster. This could be a signature win down the road, particularly if he goes after the U.S. Championship. Escobar and Mysterio has stayed a cohesive unit despite the questionable booking that led to Mysterio taking his gold. This could be a sign that it will be the master of the 619 and not Escobar that ultimately turns when the time is right. And Mysterio and Escobar were poised to work together to take down both heels with side-by-side topes, but Theory returned to the ring for a sneak attack. Escobar pushed Mysterio out of the way and took a hit to his knee that sealed the loss. So there isn't much more to say here. Best I could go would probably be 2.5 to 2 3/4 of a star. So not much more to say here. Michael Bullock, big win for Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, and it gives Theory momentum going into that U.S. title match tomorrow night at Payback.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely gives them some momentum, but with that win, I mean, could could they be going the whole booking 101 scenario when it comes to tomorrow night? Well, you'll get our thoughts on the match when we preview it. So, but definitely big win for Austin Theory and Grayson Waller against Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar. So, 2.5, 2 3/4, I think is the right rating on this one. So, it's yours, Fletch.
It is about a 2.5 star match. I think they did a really good job with it. Look, I think what we saw here was a nice win. Like you said, Theory, yes, he got faced Ray tomorrow night. We'll get into that a little bit later on. But Grayson Waller got a big moment. And like you said, he hasn't had that many big moments in the main roster yet. And this was a significant win for him. Yes, I know it is over Santos Escobar. It wasn't Ray. Okay, I get it. They protected Ray going into his title match tomorrow night. But you still got to give credit where credit's due. I think it was a nice win. So I really got nothing bad to say here. So we'll move right on along. The undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, they went up against the other members of the LWO, or you could say the true members of Legado del Fantasma, Cruz del Toro, Joaquin Wilde, of course, the sexy Zelina Vega in the corner. And it was the tag team champions winning the match in 2 minutes and 35 seconds. Um, Not much to talk about, Michael Bullock here. This was kind of more of a showcase, but they did cut a promo after the match, basically saying that, firing a missile at the Judgment Day, saying, if you guys think you guys are going to win these belts tomorrow night, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, like you said, that they basically fired the shot at him and basically said, if you think you're going to take these titles from us, no way, because like you said, they're going to be facing Finn Balor and Damian Priest in a Pittsburgh street fight. So this is basically anything goes when it comes to this. So who knows what you're going to see in this, but here's the thing also, and I'm surprised you didn't even mention this, Fletch, but before that, we had a promo with Bobby Lashley and his new proteges, the Street Profits, and basically they cut a promo about their new gimmick. And I'm going to say this, I mean, I think this is becoming Hurt Business 2.0.
Agreed.
Yeah. But the thing is, guys, and Fletch, I don't know what you think about it. I mean, they're still they're still getting cheered. I mean, I thought they were going to be heels, but maybe it's going to take some time before they develop them into heels. Because the thing is, I think once Owens and Zayn get past them, I think they're looking at the Street Profits as the next challengers. So
I totally agree with what you're saying, Michael Bullock, and you're definitely right. I could actually say that they might be the ones that dethrone them. I think they could be the ones to end the reign of Owens and Sami Zayn and become the new tag team champions of the world. And I
can see that happening too, because the thing is, you want to push this new gimmick of the Street Profits, and I think the best way to do it is to take the titles off of Owens and Zayn. And if you want to make us take this new look Street Profits seriously, I think you need to put these titles on them.
Well, I don't. Well, okay. You kind of gave me a lot to unpack there. I will say this: if you're trying to push them as heels, they need to show a little more of an aggressive side, and that's the thing. I don't think we've seen enough of an aggressive side by the Profits yet. Even though a lot of people love him, they love when you hear that Bobby coming out, they get a monster pop and everything else. So and the fans are chanting Bobby, Bobby, Bobby. So it's obvious the fans don't want them to turn heel. I feel like if they really wanted to, if creative thinks about it, you could have another New Day crew. Honestly. Now, aside from the gimmicks, the trombone, the bootios, the unicorns, and all that craziness that the New Day was, this could be more of a stripped down. You know what? I'm gonna say something, and I don't know how you're gonna feel about this, boys, but I'm gonna say this. I think they could be the quote unquote African American look of the Four Horsemen. Think about it. The suit, the cars, the wrestling ability. I think this could be the a African American style of the Four Horsemen.
I could see that.
I think that's what the setup is.
I could see that.
Be a little bit out of right field, and I know Anthony Florio. I know you'll definitely jump in on this in 2 secs, but that's the feeling I'm getting, and that's the look I'm getting about it.
And the thing is, Fletch, I mean, you need one more member, and I think this is where your boy from NXT, I think, is going to come into play, because we've seen the interaction. Yeah, exactly, because we've seen the interaction with Bobby Lashley and Carmelo Hayes. So if you're going to do a different version, an African American version of the Four Horsemen, you need one more member, and I think this is where Carmelo Hayes comes into play.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll wait and see what happens. So yeah. So there's really nothing more to say for me. So Fletch, I mean, I know you gave a little thought. If you want to give a little more, but if not, maybe Florio would definitely want to jump in, and I'm interested to hear his 2 cents on what you just said.
Yeah, you want me to tell it like it is? That's exactly what I'm going to do.
Yeah. Go ahead, Floyo. Well, I pretty much said my P's and Q's on the whole thing.
MF, you nailed it right on the head. They could absolutely be the African American version of the Four Horsemen. No question about it. Bobby Lashley as the Ric Flair. No doubt about that.
I would say definitely if they do get Carmelo Hayes, there's your Arn Anderson.
He'd be the Arn Anderson, and then, well, I'm thinking Carmelo Hayes more of the Tully Blanchard, honestly.
Okay.
And then you could have the Street Profits as the Andersons, Arn and Ole Anderson, if we're talking about the original Four Horsemen. So
yes.
There's no doubt about that. I mean, I absolutely could see it. There is absolutely no doubt about that. I mean, they had the fancy suits, obviously. That's what they were known for. And, of course, Fortune 4, TNA, we all know they did the same thing. So I'd be all for it. Sign me up for it. No doubt about it. So, yeah, that's a great observation, MF. If you didn't make that observation, I damn sure would have. So you beat me to it. So there you go. So I'd be excited about that. Absolutely, I'd be excited about that. I would love to see that. I mean, that would be fun. I mean, with the Street Profits under the guidance of Bobby Lashley, ooh, man. Let me say it like this. He explained that he aligned with the Street Profits because MF he brought back an old favorite saying of ours, even though Cena's the one who started it. Remember those infamous words? Real recognizing
real. Yep.
That we had fun with it 18 years ago. We're having fun with it now. So, although he worded it a little differently, he said real recognizes real. Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins gave the almighty thanks for helping them. Lashley warned that they were after power, control, and championships. SmackDown has moved significantly slower than Raw with most angles, and this is no exception. Lashley and the Street Profits are easing their way up the ladder of success, waiting the right rivals. This was a welcome moment of clarity as this stable clearly comes together to become a force that will be difficult to match. The Almighty should be focused on Roman Reigns' undisputed Universal Championship, while Ford and Dawkins consider challenging Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn for the undisputed tag team championships. This sold-out crowd was loud. The sold-out crowd in Hershey was loud for that segment, especially cheering for the Almighty. And then Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn did not wait for the stable to head to the back before coming out for their match, clearly teasing a future bout. Now, as far as what we saw with KO and Sami against Del Toro and Wilde, while it makes sense for the undisputed tag champs to win dominantly just one night before a title defense, LWO needed more rub than they got. Two talented stars with plenty to prove, Wilde and Del Toro have been the odd men out in the LWO. They could not afford a loss, especially one in a match this short. The action was fine, but hardly a showcase of anyone involved. It was just an easy booking option to remind people about Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens versus Finn Balor and Damian Priest in that street fight tomorrow night. Del Toro hit KO and Zayn with a sequence of kicks to send both men reeling, and after the win, Sami warned Judgment Day to bring everything they had to the fight of their lives at Payback. So it was about a 1 to 1.5 for that effort. So you could probably call it worst fight of the night on that one. So, but a great observation about, Lashley and the Profits will probably be known as I call them the new Hurt Business. That's what I call them. And but an African American version of the Four Horsemen, that would be pretty badass, honestly. So great observation, and I have no doubt about it. So I see we lost Bullock. Maybe he hit the wrong button or something. We should get him back momentarily. So while we're waiting on him, MF, let's move on to the next bout.
Well, I'm gonna briefly talk about this one because there's another segment that needs to be talked about. LA Knight and The Miz.
Oh, yes.
I mean, what a storyline this has been. These are two really good guys going at each other, and now we're going to get the fight tomorrow night. Look, it was what it needed it to be. Good verbal exchange that, it wasn't as much as it needed it to be. It's just, once again, the body of work, both guys doing what they needed it to do, and they just pick up right where they left off, man. It's been amazing. It's been a great body of work. I've enjoyed the storyline up to this point. I don't think there's anything bad to say, man. When you got LA Knight and The Miz, you know you're going to get something good out of it, and they've been amazing, man. This has been one of those storylines that, underground, it's been one of the better ones, and I cannot wait to see this fight go down tomorrow night. Anthony, like you said, short, sweet, straight to the point. Both guys laying at each other. Good salvos. I'm ready. I'm ready for this fight to go down tomorrow night. I'm just ready for these two to just go.
Segment of the night, no doubt. This was an important final moment for LA Knight and The Miz to solidify their feud. They have worked overtime to sell this rivalry. This final exchange solidified the importance of a bout that was wasted on Smackdown a few months back. LA Knight stumbled over his words at one moment, but it did not hurt him. Both men spoke their piece, and the $1 Million megastar sold his story perfectly as a hard worker and fan finally living his dream. As expected, the crowd went wild once LA Knight had arrived. Miz called out all his accomplishments, and the $1 Million megastar gave him credit for his work, a rarity with babyfaces feuding with The Miz. LA Knight made a snide remark that he could satisfy Maurice better than the A-lister. He went there. And Michael Cole sold this match with Miz as Knight's moment to make it big. Absolutely right. There's no doubt about it. So, excellent segment here. Segment of the night. There's no question about that. And, MF, Michael Bullock and I, during our chat tonight, we talked especially during this segment, Michael Bullock was secretly hoping that WWE would bring in the the dummy button, but obviously that's property of Impact Wrestling, so I think that's no time.
That's never gonna happen.
Yeah, but we all know Bullock. That's what Bullock was hoping for. He really wanted to see that. He's like, I wish they could bring that dummy button for LA Knight, but
they can't.
No. But anyways, all kidding aside, segment of the night. There's no question about that. So, Michael Bullock, man alive, we had a lot of fun with this. We had a lot of fun with this segment tonight, didn't we? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, segment of the night. I mean, these two really threw the verbal exchanges, and LA Knight went there when he said that he could please Maurice more than the Miz could, and it definitely is. I mean, Michael Cole really hyped this, and this is a big moment for LA Knight if he really wants to be that to really become so popular, I think a win over the Miz would definitely solidify it. But guys, what would happen if the Miz beats LA Knight?
It depends. What happens?
You really want to go there?
It really depends on how. If it's a cheap win, if it's a screwy finish, and he wins it that way, then I would say, it doesn't hurt LA Knight. You could actually see you could probably see another fight down the line between the two. If the Miz beats LA Knight clean,
look out.
Now we have a problem.
This is Pittsburgh. We're talking Pittsburgh here.
Yeah. Now we have a problem. Because then the question is going to be, is LA Knight ever going to get an opportunity? Because at that point, you start to question everything.
Because the thing is, because if he loses cleanly, then I'll say it right now, that Battle Royal win at SummerSlam doesn't mean a damn thing. I mean, nothing. Because you're really hyping, you're really pushing LA Knight, and you have him lose cleanly to the Miz. That all this hype was all for naught.
And remember, where are we
tomorrow
night?
And
we're in Pittsburgh tomorrow night. Do we remember?
And the thing is, everything that the Miz said about LA Knight, I mean, if he wins, then everything the Miz said was probably true.
But remember where we are tomorrow. Remember where we are tomorrow. Pittsburgh. Need I remind you about what happened at the 2014 Royal Rumble with a certain Daniel Bryan? He lost to Bray Wyatt, the late Bray Wyatt, and then we all thought he was going to be we thought he was not only going to be in the Royal Rumble, we thought he was going to win it. He wasn't even in the Royal Rumble. Competed. And how pissed off was that crowd in Pittsburgh that night?
Yeah.
Same thing would happen if LA Knight loses cleanly to the Miz. I don't see it happening, but God forbid if that happened, they'll be just as pissed as they were 9 years ago. Believe that.
Oh, they'll piss all over the Miz if that happens.
The only thing is, do you jeopardize the rest of the pay-per-view? Because that's the thing. Because once you anger that crowd,
they won't give two craps about the rest of the show.
Following year's Royal Rumble, Philadelphia, Daniel Bryan got eliminated from the Rumble. What did they do the rest of that Royal Rumble?
Yeah, they hijacked the Rumble. So I would say you got to be very careful here. If LA Knight loses because of chicanery, I think we could say, all right, you know what? Wait a minute, that was a screw job finish. LA Knight got hosed here. Let's ease the trigger before anything else. If they let LA Knight lose clean because the Miz out wrestled him, now we have a problem. Now you're going to get a lot of the fans attacking. But the thing is, we're playing on a hypothetical. We're not thinking, we're thinking, what if? Let's wait to see what happens tomorrow night. Then we'll play that card because we don't know. Maybe LA Knight beats The Miz clean. Then what do you say there? Then do we start thinking, all right, maybe then, he got past The Miz. Is that the end of the rivalry? And then is he on to the next? You know, Obviously the layout is that it's a slow burn. And we get it, we know it, because right now, LA Knight is the hottest thing in WWE. The thing is, you don't want to push them all the way to a title just yet, because once you get to the top, then what do you do? Because that's what happened, and I hate to say this, but I'm going to say it again. This was the Liv Morgan effect. Everybody was trying to push her to the belt. She got it. Then what happened? So, we got to be very careful here, folks. We got to be very careful, and we got to be a lot of more instinct about what's going on. We don't want to throw everything in one shot, because if you push him to the title and then he fails, then who's to blame? Is it creative because they listened to you because of what you guys wanted? Because that's what happened with the Daniel Bryan. Everybody was pushing Bryan to the world title. They gave you what you wanted, and then what happened? So, damn if you are, damn if you're not. So that's all I'm saying. So anyway, Shotzi versus Bayley 1-on-1. Shotzi winning the match in 9 minutes and 15 seconds, which I believe this was the third. So Michael Bullock, it's yours. Give us your thoughts on this match.
I'll give this about maybe another 2.5, 2 3/4. The match I thought was solid, but Shotzi, it looked like she was going to be in trouble because obviously you had the women's champion Io Sky and Dakota Kai, but who shows up to help sort of even the odds? Let's just say somebody did it with flair. Woo! The Queen Charlotte Flair shows up and basically takes out the women's champion, leaving the opportunity for Shotzi to win this, and because of that, next week on SmackDown, it'll be Shotzi and Charlotte Flair going up against Bayley and Io Sky. So we'll see what happens with that. So 2.5, 2 3/4. Fletch, it is yours. The Queen is back on SmackDown.
Yeah, and not a moment too soon either. That's always good to get Charlotte Flair. I know one of my good buddies in the 2184 crew, Kevin LaRoche, will be very happy to see the Queen back on SmackDown. That's actually his favorite wrestler right now. His favorite female wrestler is Charlotte Flair. He's definitely gotten a liking to the Queen. So shout out to my buddy Kevin on that. And yeah, this was good. Solid matchup. This is about 2.5 to 3. Ample time, 9 minutes, 15 seconds. Not bad. So yeah, nothing more to say. Anthony, it's yours.
Yeah, solid 3 stars. The only criticism I have is WWE should have hyped this more, but at least the women got time. It did not pan out fully, though, as the two do not have chemistry in the ring. This was one of the cleanest matches Shotzi has wrestled, but it was because both were running at half speed. The right woman won, as Shotzi has high potential in a division lacking up-and-coming acts. Hopefully, the Queen does not try to take too much of her spotlight. Io Sky still has yet to defend her title in a complete bout. She spent this match on the sidelines for Bayley and will not be competing at Payback against multiple obvious challengers. That's a waste. Ahead of this match, WWE showed damage control injuring the leg of Bianca Belair backstage 2 weeks ago. Shotzi has further evolved her look, gelling up her hair in a row of spikes. And That's really all. The only really no real after highlights to speak of here.
Mm.
But Michael Bullock, I'm surprised you didn't mention this. Even though Shotzi had help from the Queen, you would have to consider this Shotzi the biggest win of Shotzi's singles career. Look who she beat. She beat Bayley. Bayley, who's damn near done everything there is to do in the women's division. The only things Bayley has yet to do is win a women's Royal Rumble match and the Queen of the Ring. But other than that, Bayley has won every other accolade you could think of. The NXT women's title, the Smackdown women's title, the Raw women's title, WWE women's tag team championship, a Miss Money in the Bank. I mean, when you think about the caliber of Bayley, this is easily the biggest win of Shotzi's career, with or without help from the Queen. So, just saying. So, solid 3 for me. So MF, over to you.
Yeah. And now it leads us to the main event of the evening, which was Solo Sikoa versus AJ Styles. Solo winning the match in 12 minutes and 5 seconds. I gotta say it, solid main event. Very good match. About 3.5 stars. I can't say anything bad here. This was actually a really good matchup, and at the end of the day, I feel like the right team won it, and yeah. So here we go again. Anthony Florio, it's all yours. So 3.5 fight of the night. You can make an argument for, and yeah, solid main event to close the show.
Positively. 3.25, 3.5 for this. Even while AJ Styles gets older, he still rarely misses in the ring. This was not a showstopper, but it was effective. It built from a slow beatdown to an exciting home stretch without the phenomenal one ever losing tracking of the cell. The finish put a damper on the energy of the bout, but does set up Styles to be involved with the Bloodline story longer. He could be Roman Reigns' next challenger if the stars align. Meanwhile, Jimmy Uso is teasing rejoining the Bloodline after initially refusing. This story has gone so many directions that nothing is certain, but it would make sense for Jimmy to lure out the tribal chief to try and take him out. Solo dominated the early stretch of this match while Styles took some rough spots to sell the offense of the Enforcer. Styles countered the amniotic spike with a Pele kick, then planted him with a second to finally gain control in the last few minutes. 3.25, 3.5, fight of the night here, no doubt about it. So, not much more to say here. Michael Bullock, your thoughts on the main event? Solo Sikoa defeating AJ Styles in 12 minutes and 5 seconds.
Yeah, I'll give it 3.25 to 3.5 as well. I mean, it definitely was a solid main event. Definitely a good way to close out the show. So, yeah, I mean, could AJ Styles be a future challenger for Roman Reigns? I mean, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, this whole bloodline thing has really had some twists and turns. So I'm interested to see what happens here. So nothing more to say except Fletch. Let's get into our overall thoughts on it.
Anthony Florio, you lead it off.
Love it. SmackDown is the most sports entertainment focused show on WWE's card. Wrestling is mostly an afterthought each week. It is all about the dramatic stories of the key stables. Obviously, the Bloodline still lead the night whenever present. This was Jimmy Uso's show from start to finish, building his legacy as an individual star for the first time in his career. He got to work off John Cena and stand tall in the main event. This makes sense for the Blue brand, though it is decidedly bad booking if WWE wanted to hype Payback as more than a filler premium live event. SmackDown was at its best promoting bigger angles and stars that will play a central role tomorrow. The PLE was an afterthought beyond LA Knight and The Miz's heated verbal battle. This made for an exciting show that is focused on the long term over the short term. John Cena will be around for 7 more weeks, hopefully promoting the talent that will be around for years to come. Roman Reigns is not coming back soon, so shows like this are a necessity to grow the brand, even if this leads to low energy nights on the eve of a PLE. Solid 7 out of 10. That's the best I can give it. So, Michael Bullock, your thoughts?
Yeah, I could give it an even 7 as well. It was good. I mean, there were some things I thought that could have been better, but all in all, there's really not that much to complain about. So, 7 out of 10. Fletch, let's get to your thoughts, then we'll get into our preview of Payback.
Well, I totally agree with everything you guys have said. 7.5 is what I'm going to give it. I thought it was a solid show. So really nothing more to add. Let's go into that PLE, as you would like to say, Anthony. It is a payback that's going to be held tomorrow night from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, as it's going to be from the PPG Paints Arena, home of the Pittsburgh Penguins, live on Peacock and the WWE Network around the world. And here we go. We started off with the steel cage match, 15-foot high steel tempered cage, as we would say. Becky Lynch goes one-on-one with Trish Stratus. It's Becky Lynch. I'm calling it now. I kind of feel like this should be the end of the war, and I think Becky wins it. I just don't see how they should. They've been ducking and diving and doing every other which way to try to keep them apart. Now they're gonna do it in a cage. This has to be the ender. So for me, Becky wins it. Anthony, it's yours.
Trish Stratus' return has been somewhat uneven in terms of her in-ring work. Adding Zoe Stark as her protege was a smart move that took some of the heavy lifting off of Trish's plate. WWE loves to frame cage matches as somehow preventing interference, and the more they lean into that, the more you know that interference will make up a big part of how things play out. Zoe Stark will involve herself plenty here. Were this the start of the feud, it'd be very tempting to pick Trish to win after that interference, fueling Becky on for revenge. Things between Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus have run their course, however, and now Becky, the actual full-time roster member, needs to get the win and move along to the next part of her career. I agree with you, MF. Winner of the match, it is the man, Becky Lynch. Michael Bullock, are we going to make it unanimous?
I'm making it unanimous. I'm going with the man Becky Lynch to beat Trish Stratus and finally put an end to this rivalry, and hopefully these two can move on to bigger and better things. So Becky wins. Let's move on, Fletch.
All right, next matchup is for the WWE Tag Team titles in the Steel City Street Fight. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn putting the titles on the line against the Judgment Day. Finn Balor and Damian Priest. Remember Mommy's threat on Monday Night Raw on Monday night that if they don't get the tag team titles, that changes will be coming. Anthony, we heard what Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn said earlier tonight on Smackdown after their victory. Who you got in this tag team title fight?
I've got an interesting theory about this. My theory on the direction forward for Judgment Day is that Finn Balor is going to be the lone member without a title very soon, leading to his partnership with JD McDonough taking priority over his loyalties to Judgment Day. That doesn't work if he and Damian Priest win the tag titles, though tag champions with an uneasy alliance is a wrestling story as old as the sport. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn retaining the titles and continuing their title reign as the tag division picks up a bit of steam makes perfect sense, especially if miscommunication costs Priest and Balor like we've been seeing over the last several weeks. And let's not forget about what happened on SmackDown earlier tonight with the Street Profits. Let's put that in, let's take that into account as well. So with all that being said, the winners and still the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. It's going to be a fun match. It's definitely got fight of the night potential. There's no question about it. And I'll give you a bonus prediction. Miscommunication is going to be the word of the night. So don't be surprised if we get another, whoopsie, in the immortal words of Morocco, another Morocco Mole moment here. So don't be surprised if that happens. So I got Sami and KO to successfully defending the titles. Michael Bullock, we've seen a lot of oopsie moments with a lot of Morocco Mole moments with Priest and Balor as of late. Don't be surprised if we get another one tomorrow night.
Oh yeah, I definitely think we're going to see another one here, and I think this is where we'll continue to see cracks within the Judgment Day, and like Rhea said, if both of them don't come out with gold, that changes will be made. So, what changes? We'll have to wait and see. So winners and still the undisputed tag team champions, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. It's going to be a good match. So nothing more to say. It's your sledge.
Yeah, and I will make it unanimous. I do believe it will be Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn successfully defending the titles as we move on to the next fight, as it is going to be for the Women's World Championship. The champion, Rhea Ripley, puts the title on the line against Raquel Rodriguez. Michael Bullock, you lead off.
Yeah, I mean a lot of history with these two. I mean, especially going back to their days of NXT, and they had so many good bouts, and this where they definitely had respect for each other, and let's not forget that iconic image from that episode of NXT when you had Raquel Rodriguez holding the NXT Women's title, Rhea Ripley with the Raw Women's title, and Bianca Belair with the SmackDown Women's title. Well, this is a different Rhea Ripley that Raquel is going to be dealing with here, where she's become more vicious, more dangerous, and I'll even say it, Fletch, and I don't know if you'll agree with me on it, she is the true personification of evil. I mean, it's almost like be careful what you say in front of mommy, because she's not afraid to hurt you real bad. Take Liv Morgan, for example. So she messed with her, and now she's on the shelf after one of the most vicious attacks I've seen in a long time. And part of me really wants to see Raquel go over here, but Rhea's just too dominant right now. So I think this will be a good match. Raquel is going to definitely give her all that she can handle. But in the end, I'll say it, winner and still the Women's World Champion, Rhea Ripley. It's your Fletch.
Any other time, I think we definitely could make an argument that we could see a new champion. I just don't see it happening yet. I think they're going to want to wait for a bigger pay per view. I think they're going to wait for a bigger moment. But right now, this would not be the moment for this to happen. I'm sorry, I just don't see it. I think at the end of the day, I think we're gonna see is a Rhea's gonna successfully defend the title. That's all I'm gonna say right now. I would love to see Rhea win it all. I mean, I would love to see Raquel win it all. But I just don't think Big Mommy Cool is going to do it. Not yet. She'll get it eventually. But right now, I don't think it's going to happen. So, for me, winner and still the champion, Rhea Ripley. Anthony, it's yours.
Rhea Ripley's title run has been handled well, and she is much more prepared to hold the title than she was during her first reign, with far more confidence in herself and on the microphone. Raquel Rodriguez is a compelling challenge as one of the only women on the roster who can match Rhea Ripley on a power level. Still, Rodriguez doesn't feel as though she has been built up to the point where she could be a believable top champion, though that could come in the future. Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio as a title-holding couple, plus Damian Priest as Mr. Money in the Bank and possibly world champion, being stuck with a jealous Finn Balor could be the next step for Judgment Day. Winner and still Women's World Champion, it is Rhea Ripley. So, next match, MF.
All right. And now we shift gears to the United States Heavyweight Championship bout, as it is Rey Mysterio versus Austin Theory. I feel like Ray's gonna win this. I feel like right now, Ray winning the title was the big outcome. That was the big moment. And yeah, I do believe Ray will turn heel, but the thing is, I don't think it's now. I think Ray's gonna win this unless there's a miscommunication here where the LWO or mainly Santos Escobar makes a mistake that costs Ray the title. But I just don't see Austin Theory getting this belt back. I don't think it would be one of those where really, why would you do that? You had Ray out of nowhere take a championship fight um after Theory injured um Santos Escobar. And then for Ray to get the shot and win it, I don't know. Why would you do that? I mean, that would make no sense. But I mean, we'll wait and see how it plays out. But for me, I think the most logical would be Ray winning and keeping the title. So that's my prediction. Anthony, it's yours.
It was odd to see WWE pull a fast one over fans and reward Rey Mysterio with the United States Heavyweight Championship over Santos Escobar. Still, the Masked Man is a safe choice as mid-card champion, and it's great seeing the 48-year-old Mysterio compete at this level. Austin Theory benefited from a huge push and beat John Cena at WrestleMania 39. It doesn't get much bigger than that. Unfortunately, his US title run was not memorable, and he'd benefit from distance from the title. Rey Mysterio should retain so the title can benefit from some fresh matchups on SmackDown. Winner and still the United States Heavyweight Champion, Hall of Famer Rey Mysterio. Michael Bullock, are we going to once again make it unanimous here?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Rey Mysterio to retain the United States Heavyweight Championship. I mean, you guys pretty much said what you wanted to say, so let's move on to the next match.
All right, we only got a couple of fights left here, and the next fight on the fight card is this is the big one, guys. LA Knight going one-on-one with The Miz. Anthony Florio, it is yours.
The fans are treating LA Knight like a bona fide superstar, and it's time for WWE to do the same. Winning a sponsor-affiliated battle royal at SummerSlam was comforting, but not significant enough to curry confidence. His feud with The Miz has been rather entertaining, but losing to the A-lister would be absolutely deflating. This is not a feud that needs to last a long time. Even if WWE wants to extend the program past Payback, it should not come at the expense of LA Knight losing. This needs to be LA Knight's slow burn rise towards a world title. Winner of the match, LA Knight. Yeah. Michael Bullock, your thoughts?
Like you said, this is a big one here. I mean, LA Knight really needs to win to solidify himself as the guy that they're really pushing here, but a clean loss to The Miz would definitely set LA Knight back and would definitely, for me, make the push and the win at SummerSlam make it look like it never happened. So if WWE is smart, it would be smart for them to basically have LA Knight go over. So winner of this match, LA Knight. Yeah, it's yours, Fletch.
Yeah, I think it's definitely LA Knight's moment. Like we said, they've been working on this for a little while. It'd be great if LA Knight gets a big win, gets some momentum, maybe have him pushed to possibly be challenging, maybe the next challenger down the line to become the United States Heavyweight Champion. Maybe that's where the end game is for LA Knight right now, to give him the US title eventually down the line. So I mean, we'll see how it plays out. But if LA Knight wins a title down the line, maybe he wins the US title at maybe, I don't know, maybe at Rumble or Mania. Oh my God, if he gets it at Mania. Oh my God. Philly, Mania, LA Knight, US champ. Oh, whoa, hello. That would go nuts. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. Um, that's my prediction as well. LA Knight winning. All right, here we go. Main event for the World Heavyweight Championship. Shinsuke Nakamura, the challenger, goes up against the World Heavyweight Champion, Seth freaking Rollins. Whoa. Michael Bullock, you lead off.
All righty. All right. Yeah, this is a big one here, and yeah, without a doubt, this is definitely a big time moment for Shinsuke Nakamura. Oh, having a chance to dethrone. I mean, you want to talk about LA Knight really getting over? What about? Of course, we all know about Seth freaking Rollins, and yeah, I mean, he's just on such a roll right now. I mean, to me, there is no doubt about it. I think the winner of this match and still World Heavyweight Champion, Seth freaking Rollins. Whoa. It's yours, Fletch. I mean, think of what that crowd's going to be like when Seth comes out.
Imagine what the crowd's going to be like when Nakamura comes out. Because it's going to be dueling songs, man. Because you're going to get the for Seth Rollins, but then you're going to have the Nakamura crowd doing their thing. So we might have dueling songs going down in this one. So I think this could be very interesting to see. So I don't know. We'll see. Look, going into this, it definitely feels like it's a Rollins moment. It feels like Rollins is definitely gonna probably successfully defend the World Heavyweight title. Nakamura has done some things that made us believe that he's a credible challenger, but I don't think we've yet to see a moment where we're thinking that Nakamura is going to become the World Heavyweight Champion. I don't think we've seen that yet. And I don't think we will get to see that. I think what Nakamura is going to do is give us one of the best performances that he's had in the last few months, because especially for it to be a world heavyweight title fight, you're going to get the king of the strong style. You're going to get the Nakamura of New Japan tomorrow night. Obviously, you're not gonna see true Nakamura, but you're gonna get the glimpses of him. But Rollins is he's just playing out of his mind and out of this world right now. And right now he is without a doubt the best thing on SmackDown and the best thing in WWE today. So for me, winner of the bout and still the World Heavyweight Champion, Seth Rollins. Anthony, you got the final say.
I think you meant to say the best thing going on Monday Night Raw, not SmackDown. You wish you had this Rollins on SmackDown, MF, but no. You got me all tongue tied there. But anyways, this feud has injected new life into Shinsuke Nakamura's character. By turning him heel and allowing him to cut promos in his native Japanese, he is getting points across clearer and with more intention. Still, it doesn't seem as though there's any realistic way WWE puts the title on Nakamura, who is more of a plug-and-play roster member, able to be slotted in wherever needed for a month or two. Nakamura is not the force in the ring he once was, but can hold up his end well enough in big matches. Seth Rollins' run as champion will continue on a bit longer, possibly until Damian Priest cashes in the Money in the Bank contract, which should not be written out as a possibility tomorrow night. But for right now, winner and still the World Heavyweight Champion, it is Seth freaking Rollins. So, but guys, watch out from Senor Money in the Bank. Watch out. Nothing more to say. MF, take it home.
I'll say this. we haven't even mentioned about the Money in the Bank. You know what? That would actually, because nobody's thinking about it, that would be a great call. I mean, whoever would have thought that the Money in the Bank would be cashed in if they do it? Did anybody think Money in the Bank until now? I didn't. I know, Bullock, I don't think you did. Florio, you just brought it up. That would be pretty shrewd. Do a Money in the Bank cash in? Like, I would, like, that absolutely would be out of right field. Nobody would see this coming. So, who knows? I mean, you just brought it to the attention. I don't think we would have thought, but hey, we'll see. All right. So tomorrow night, I'm thinking maybe 11. Let's wait till 11 o'clock just to be on more of a safer side here. So we'll do 11 o'clock, and then we'll do the recap. We'll have AEW. We'll got AEW Collision. We'll be previewing AEW All Out from the United Center in Chicago. And we will most definitely, if we do it at that time, we'll most definitely do a recap of Payback. So we'll do it at 11, guys, tomorrow night. Anthony Floyo, he's there. Michael Bullock, possible. We'll see. But until then, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great evening. For Anthony Floyo, for Michael Bullock, I'm Michael Fletcher saying so long, everybody, and we'll see you guys tomorrow night.